I want to welcome you to Golden Rule Media Conversations. And not only that, I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. I'm putting this on all the platforms because I finally got Michael Neely on the show. Yes. Michael, how you doing, bro?
I'm fine.
So, Michael, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to get you finally on the show. I am. I'm definitely happy. I know you run from me a lot, but you can't run now. No more running.
That is true.
Yep. Yep. So tell us about yourself and about your journey in the music industry and everything. I mean, you've done so much.
Well, my name is Michael. I started the journey, I think I was 18. Yeah, I used to go to a school here in Atlanta called Columbia High School. Um, I basically graduated when I was 18 out of high school. Um, I was a troublemaker. I had a good family. My mom was very supportive and did everything. But picture a mom raising five boys.
Mm.
I was classified as the black sheep because everything that my mom told me to do right, I did it wrong. Um, then my direction changed after I started getting in trouble with the law. To me, it was going downhill. And then I had, which was odd, this old white guy who was a Jewish dude, but he was a lawyer. And he seen the good side of me, the potential of me. He said, "You're pretty smart. You just don't act like it." And I went to jail, and out of clear blue, I didn't have the money, or my mom didn't have the money, but he came in as my lawyer and got me out of jail.
Wow.
And out of return, he said, "I want you to cut my grass every week, and help me clean his yard." To me, I did it, you know. And I just started learning the music. I got involved with a guy named Al Heyman. Right now, Al Heyman runs part of Rock Nation,
Mm-hmm.
but at the time it was called Al Heyman Productions. Kenny Diamond, James Smart, those are the people that really pushed me into music. My first client was Tupac before he became Tupac. He was the hype man for Digital Underground.
Mm.
And I met him then. And Digital Underground just came out. And it was in Atlanta, and it just grew from there. And then I got bit by the bug, as they say.
Yeah.
I met Chris Cross out of Mechanicsville and Hernan Holmes with Big Cat, um, Slim Almighty out of Techwood, uh, Little John, and all these people I met. To me, they were just local people. The first major celebrity I ever worked for was Ludacris. I was part of his security when he came to a city called Milwaukee, and I just kept growing and absorbing knowledge ever since. Then I got a break. Everybody wants to be a part of somebody or something, and my biggest fantasy was to be a part of Def Jam. And then in 2019, I thought it was a joke. I got picked up on by Def Jam because I was arguing with a guy who I found out after the fact was a major A&R for Capitol Records.
Mm.
And he kept trying to tell me certain things that I told him he was lying in that group chat. It was not even it was on a comment he made. And that comment fed a lot of information. More people were more worried about what I was saying. And I was like, you could do your homework. There's no way in the world. Because he was trying to tell people how to push and market their music. And they had to pay him thousands of dollars. And I was like, that's a lie. You can go here, here, and here and do the same thing.
Right.
Um, and it just grew. And then people started looking at me as being a competitive. Def Jam came to the door. One of the he's a head of marketing at the time for Def Jam. I think he still is. Um, he opened the door for me, and then I became the A&R for Def Jam. Um, the difference with me is I didn't want to sit down in the office I love to go out and hear people and their music and their attitudes. And I just grew from there. Then I became friends with the director of Sony, Capitol Records, Universal, E1, um, things like that. And it just grew. I kept growing. Um, some of my best friends I met in the music industry. Um, Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. He's my goddaughter's father. Um, I've met Bushwick Bill. I've met uh, what's the name? Medina Howard, Jody Watley, Melba Moore, Larry Dawson, um, Two Live Crew, the whole group of Bone Thugs and Harmony. I mean, there's so many people. I met Curtis Blow, um, DJ K Slay, Busta Rhyme. I've met Mystical. I was with Little Wayne in his photos I have. I have a photo of me and Wayne was 13 years old wearing a fur coat, a white fur coat at 13.
Wow.
To me, that fur coat cost more than the car I was driving.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Wow. I know what you mean.
And then somebody told me to become, you give a lot of advice, become a consultant. I did that, giving people advice about music. And then it went from, Mike, you do more than consult. You're a motivational speaker. And I was like, yeah, but I want to be a keynote speaker. Because I thought something new. Then they told me, well, technically you are a keynote speaker, because a motivational speaker just speaks positivity and uplift people. A keynote speaker speaks about certain subjects.
Yeah.
And the guy that told me is a well-known keynote speaker. He said if he knew now what he learned then, he wouldn't have did it. He said, Mike, people pay to learn how to become a keynote speaker, but you do it naturally because you study what you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it went from there.
Wow.
I started a magazine to piss people off. And that's where Times 10 come in.
I love times 10 though. I have
Yeah,
to love times 10.
yeah, because Times 10 is really my baby, because when I wanted to get in a magazine, people were giving me outrageous prices. And when I asked for the analytics and this, they said they wouldn't do it. I'm not paying $2,500 to get in a magazine. I don't care what magazine it is.
I hear that.
And then so I was like, okay, so you're not going to help me get in one. I'm going to do it myself. And then I'm going to showboat it in front of your group of people.
That's it.
And that's where Times 10 came on.
That's sweet.
And it's been growing ever since. Most of the people you see in Times 10 are celebrity friends of mine or celebrity friends of others that are featured in my magazine. I don't know. We just grow together, and it went from there. Then the Orange came about. I own an online magazine called The Orange. That came about of me eating an orange in the car.
Okay,
Yeah.
you gotta explain that.
You ever see, if you look at the cover of the Orange magazine, it looks like an orange peel.
Yeah.
You ever look at an orange in your hand?
Yes.
It looks like the same as the cover. It looks with the cord with the bumps in it.
Yeah.
So
It does.
the
I said
subject
that.
the subject of the Orange magazine is just like an orange in your hand. In order for you to know how the orange tastes and the texture and the smoothness, you have to peel the skin to bite into what's inside. Correct?
Yeah. Yes, you do.
So Times 10 magazine is the skin of the orange. And all the articles and artists that are in that magazine is the fruit of the industry.
Mm.
In order for you to know what it's about or what flavor they're bringing to the table, you got to peel back the cover
Nice. I like that.
and
Wow, that's a great concept.
take a bite of the magazine. Meaning you got to dig in, read what you
Mhm.
and somewhere in that magazine, somebody's going to attract your attention, and that's the fruit of the industry, and that's what they are.
Wow. Wow, that is amazing. So you started your magazines to completely piss people off. And I understand that because you don't have to pay that much money. You don't. You literally don't. Why would you? Why would you? And I love that fact. You know why? Because it means that you can take your destiny and put it in your own hands. And that's exactly what you did. Wow. But you're being modest because you do have a YouTube, you have a Vimeo, you have a Roku, you have Amazon Fire, you have a lot of different things going on. You have like this whole talk show thing. Tell me about that. How'd that come about?
What, the talk show?
Yeah.
The talk show is because I was watching this young lady. I'm a fan of hers, but she doesn't think so. She has a talk show, and I like the fact that she smiles every day in her talk show. Even though the world is going through hell, she comes out with a shiny smile. Um, and I'm always questioning her. And even though she didn't at the time, she didn't know much about me. She made me feel like I was on top of the world. Um, and I still talk to the lady today and ask her a billion questions, even though 95% of them I probably know the answer. I'm just too lazy, but I'd rather hear it from somebody else. She has a talk show, and I like the fact that she's very positive to the point you ain't got no choice to be positive when she's talking. So I wanted to start mine. I'm forever in debt to the lady because she opened my eyes to a lot of things. If I don't understand it, she explains it to me, which is cool. It's like a brother sister type of creepy thing because I'm afraid of her husband. Oh, let me make this clear before somebody get this twisted. Her husband is a good friend of mine. Um, I say it in front of him. I'm afraid of him because he has that katana sword. But she's the one that made me really stick with the shows, and to the point where I said, for helping me, I'll bring the celebrities. We can share the interview. And she really made me believe in myself, especially when it comes to the competing. I see everybody wants to compete. Everybody wants to be a threat to another person. I don't compete against nobody. I want everybody to eat. I don't compete with my magazine because you're either going to read it or you're not going to read it. You're either going to like it or not like it. I don't care if you do. I don't care if you don't. You know, it's not a negative thing. And when it came to my talk shows, I don't care if you don't like it. I did it. I like it. You know, and that's all that matters because I'm the only one that's got an answer to it outside of the person that helped me get it together.
Wow.
But I'm just blessed to be like that. I still go to this lady every day to ask her questions because to me, she's my guru. So I try to keep that relationship. I made mistakes and she taught me always try to fix them. If you can't fix it in 3 tries, and give up and just walk away. So anything else?
I.
That's funny. But you asked me to tell the truth, so
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm not even going to go there, but thank you. Thank you so much. You know, I think that a lot of people don't realize what they have inside of them is gold. When did you realize that what you had inside of you could take you to the level beyond what most people might have thought you could ever go?
I didn't really decide. I don't really think. I mean, a lot of people may look at me and give me the accolades, but I think those accolades ain't good unless everybody else believes in me. I may not believe in myself because my biggest problem, I compete against myself. If I can do, let's say, give you an example. Let's say we got Brother Man yesterday. Let me see who I can get to top Brother Man. Oh, let's do the Jacksons. Let's do this. I'm always trying to top myself in what I do. So I don't compete against other people because to me, competing is a waste of time and energy. I never say I lost because when you say you're a loser, that means you gave up.
Yeah.
I don't give up. I love to fight. So mentally, physically, I love to fight. So if I got to mentally fight something, it's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen. It may not be today, it could be tomorrow, but it will happen.
Hmm.
You know, and I try to always my thing is I tell people positive minds move forward. no matter what obstacles in your way, if you stay positive, it'll work. It works itself out. So
Definitely, definitely. So, what kind of advice do you give to people that are going or trying to get into the music industry? You know, it's so much going on now. There's so many different divisions of music and so many different areas and so many different ways to do it. But what is the best way to do it?
be yourself. We don't need another, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody. We don't need another Lil Wayne. We don't need another Drake. We don't need another Nicki Minaj or whoever's hot right now. We don't need another one of them. You know, we don't need another Jay-Z. We already have one. We as the music industry is looking for the next new phase in our life. Like remember Little Uzi?
Mm,
When he came out, he was like the hottest thing out. And then the next thing, another new artist came out 3 months later.
yeah,
And you don't hear nothing about Little Uzi. You see what I mean?
I got you.
So and when it comes to music, especially for all these artists that do this, and I think it's the dumbest thing in the world, they want to brag about they got a record, put it on Spotify, and then think they're doing some major shit. Excuse my language. Think they're doing some major stuff, and they're not. I met an artist that drops a total of 9 songs in 1 week, and I asked him, "What is the purpose of you dropping 9 songs and you can't afford to push one?" Well, I want to see what they're gonna pick. For 9 songs, you ain't gonna get no roster. You know, I see people that are pushing songs that don't make sense. I met an artist that says she's the hottest thing in the LBG community, and she got the hottest song out. But when she opened her mouth, all I seen was bats in the belfry, you know. And she wasn't the hot shit. Mind, body, vocal, she wasn't hot at all. So I see that. I see artists getting out here talking about, oh, I'm a rapper. I produce beats. I make records. I make hits. You as a rapper or any producer, anybody can't say you can make hits. Because
Right.
if you hits, all those other artists that you got a hit record off of them. So, but being in the music industry, I see the good and I see the bad. I see the ignorance in people. I see the people that don't know better listening to the wrong people. So I see it all, and I just look at them and like, you got a record, but you don't want to put no money behind it. You got a record, but you don't even own the rights to the whole record. That's kind of stupid. Why would you put a record out? Or why would you borrow beats from YouTube just to say you got the record?
Oh my gosh. I've
You know,
seen, yeah.
they do. They go borrow a beat from YouTube or SoundCloud and try to make a hit out of it. And that's stupid. You know, everybody wants to say they got a record, but they don't have a record. Everybody wants to be a producer or a writer or a singer, but yet you can't spell your own name. So
Yeah.
that's just my point of view.
Yeah.
Uh,
I got you. I got you. And to learn the business, should they know more than just rapping and singing and beats?
yes, they need to. They need to know really how to work the music industry and how it really functions, not from the glamour side, but from the business side of point of view. You know, you can tell an artist physically to, you know, control your masters, but they rather hear it from a rapper that's already going through the bullshit to get their masters when it's too late, instead of learning from people like me, you, and others. Get your master, control your masters now,
Right.
not later. And I tell people, you go in the studio and you're dealing with a producer, do it as a work for hire. That means you're hiring that producer just for that one subject. And guess what?
You own
If
it.
you own it. If
Mm.
he's a work for hire, that means he has the masters. It's no longer his, it's yours, because
Right. That's what that means. Wow. You know, I mean, okay, so there's one more thing because a lot of people think that they can break, like you said, they put out 9. This guy put out 9 songs. I mean, how long does it realistically take to break one song with always pushing it, putting some money behind it, and just pushing it out there? How long does it take usually?
To go gold?
Well, not just to go gold, but just to be noticed.
Well, it takes up to 6 months to be noticed. But, and that's really if you're putting real money, big money behind it, 6 months. But the longest I've seen it take to break a record was 2 years, 2.5 years for the same song. You know what I mean? And that's doing a mom and pop thing, pushing a record here, pushing it, but you got to stay focused with it. Most people today want to take a record and put it on, and I'm not knocking Spotify, but they want to put it on Spotify. But you're not really breaking a record to get it to go gold. You break it on Spotify because you got over 10 million streams. That's not really, that's like, okay, you got 10 million streams on Spotify, but you only got $80 in your pocket. So that don't make sense to me. That's like less than a penny, like not even a penny, less than the letter P that's printed on the penny. 0. What is it? 0.001? 0.001.1. Less than a penny. But they don't understand. Go to Tidal, go to Nap, go to Deezer, go to Amazon, go to iTunes. They don't want to promote them. They want to promote Tidal. Spotify, which is okay if you want to look at the rim on a car. But if you're looking to buy the whole car, you got to go a little deeper and push everything. You want to get on radio, you want to get on blogs, you want to get on TV shows, get your music encoded.
Right.
Or people tell me, have you registered your music? Yeah, I'm registered with BMI. No, I said, did you register your music? BMI is my publishing company. They're not a publishing company. But people are ignorant. And then when people don't want to trademark and register their music, all you got to do is get up and fly outside the United States. Your music there's no governed body over there to watch it.
Nope.
Someone take that same song, the same vocals, turn the vocals into another language, and they can own that song.
That's right.
There's nothing you can do about it because you're too lazy to put $60 to protect that song in another country. So, idiot people do idiot things. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Wow. Well, there's just so much to learn and we don't have that much time. But Michael, I want to thank you. There's just so much knowledge that I can learn from you as well. And, and we all need to be under the tutelage of someone who knows more so that we can actually gain that knowledge for ourselves and then pass it on. Michael, thank you so much for being on the show.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
And what's going on with you next? What can we expect from Michael Neely?
I want to write a book.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I want to write a book. Just to put it on my belt that I wrote a book, it'll be my first. The book is going to be giving up pointers and tips on what artists need to do to get their record out. Where, in websites that I think they should use to help promote them. Things like that. Just to educate the artists and give them a more of a direction per se.
Wow. And where can people find you? Where can they follow you?
I don't know.
Facebook, Instagram. You got your I'm gonna put links in there, but where do you like to be contacted?
Facebook.
Okay. So we'll put the link in the description box below so that people can find you and follow you and maybe even befriend you. And there is Golden Rule Media on Facebook, and we'll put that link in there as well as some of the links for the Roku and Amazon and all the different things and the magazine.
No problem.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been an amazing adventure with Mr. Michael Neely, who is the owner and I should say editor-in-chief what is it? Times 10 magazine. and Orange, the Orange magazine too, as well as Golden Rule Media, all of it. Just all of Golden Rule. Just amazing. Thank you so much. I finally got you on the show.
Thank you. Thank everybody for listening.
Awesome. All right, guys. And until next time, don't forget to dare to be different. Bye.
No problem.
Thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified the next time that I upload. And don't forget to dare to be different. Until next time, guys.
I dare to be different. I dare to be different. I dare to